Hello and welcome to Damsels After Dark, where we, your lovely hosts, deep dive into our favorite and not so favorite books each week to discuss, rant, analyze, obsess, do a full walkthrough, all of it. This week we are doing The Wicked King, and this is actually part 2 of the 2-part review walkthrough.
Yeah.
If you're seeing this one first, know that we posted them at the same time, so go to part 1 first and then come back. And then, without further ado, we're just going to pick up where we left off from part 1, which was, I believe, we just learned that the ghosts had betrayed us. Well,
Yes.
not us, but Jude.
Yes, us.
Us. And I think somebody hit Jude over the head with something, knocked her out, or drugged her.
I think they knocked her out.
Knocked her out.
Yeah.
And that was it. We faded to black.
Oh, I hated this so much because it's like, how could he? How could he?
No.
How could he? I was so devastated. I feel like there's a reason for it, and we'll get to it probably later. But like, I'm just upset. So
yeah, I really liked the ghosts.
I did too.
I mean, because he was a semi-mentor for her. I mean, he
was.
trained her in the art of being an assassin and being a spy, and then like, just, you know what, though? This was a surprise I didn't see coming.
No, I thought it was going to be her sister.
I thought it was going to be Taryn, too.
And I'm like, how, it's obvious it's her sister. So, I mean, it was a good twist.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'd like to, and I can't wait to find out why he did it. Because, like, I feel like there's a good reason for it.
There better be.
Yeah.
This better not be the end of this.
No. There
watch
can't
him
be.
just, like, pop up on
There
Queen's, the Undersea. I fucking hate her name. What's her name? Queen?
Orleg? Orlog?
Queen
Orlog. That's I don't know.
I keep saying isn't GH silent?
Probably.
Orla. Ew.
Orla.
Whatever it is.
Orla.
I don't know her name. Sorry. But I don't want him popping up on her side. I'm nervous about what's going to happen. But I love this part of the book. So
yeah, it's definitely interesting to see what happened after, because she's under the water and breathing just fine right now.
So she wakes up, and this is also the part 2 in the book too.
Yeah.
So we've broken it up in accordance with the books, part 1 and part 2. But yes, so we wake up with Jude, and she is underwater, breathing just fine,
which is really cool. I did not expect them to like keep her captive underwater.
Yes, I also love that we actually are getting a peek into the undersea. That's not the way they call it too, right? The undersea, because we hear a lot about it, and I thought that it was just going to be something that we heard, but the fact that we're like actually under here, and we're learning about the people, about the queen, about who else is down there, so cool.
I loved it.
But so she wakes up, and none other than Vicky is sitting there with her at the foot of the bed.
Yes, and she's kind of like in her mermaid kind of form now. So it's almost as if the minute she gets into the water, she goes into her true form, because she's sitting there and then she's like swimming about. And Jude was saying how magnificently pretty or beautiful or she is, or something like that, in her form.
Yes.
She was going on in detail about it, but I don't really remember. But
I like her too, because I think she has like blue skin, or like, and like her hair is like the color of the ocean.
Yeah.
So
she's so pretty.
She is so pretty. Yeah. She's a bitch, but she's so pretty.
So Jude is restrained in her bed. Like I don't think she can move at all. I think she was trying to move, and she just found out that she was stuck there, while Nikki is just pretty much talking to her and swimming about around her. And they have a conversation. I don't remember what that conversation is about, and I don't think it really matters. I think it was more like how, like, who are you, and
Yeah, I mean, they just have some. They have a lot of animosity between the two of them, and I think Nikki attacks her.
Yeah, almost pretty much tells her, I think she's kind of still jealous about the Carden thing.
She is still jealous about the Carden thing.
And so she pretty much tries to drown her, like takes away her ability to breathe underwater, and almost submits to her drowning.
Yep. And then I think it actually knocks Jude unconscious, because then we wake up later, and I keep saying we, but
it is we.
We are Jude.
We are. I know we are. Yeah, she is so great. I am her.
I aspire to be everything about her, so I'm just gonna include myself in her aura.
Yeah, she's us.
So we wake up with Jude, and I think she's alone for a minute, kind of trying to gather her surroundings, but then people come and get her dressed and ready to go to dinner to meet the queen.
Yeah.
And then, so she goes down to so she gets dressed. She's escorted down to the dinner, the banquet table or whatever. And also next to the queen is Balkin.
Oh, fuck him.
Which, as I'm sure we all remember, that he was supposed to be in the Tower of Forgetting.
Yes, and he was removed from there.
He was removed.
Yeah. Obviously, to be a part of this shenanigans, because he's there, and he's sitting beside the queen and Nikki's there as well. And they kind of just like start giving Jude shit, asking all sorts of questions, and then they decide, you know what would be great? Let's just glamour her into telling us everything.
Yeah, and I think this is a good scene too, because Queen Orga, whatever her name is, she is almost scolding Balkin, saying like, this is how you handle it. You just glamour her. She's a human.
Yeah.
And
which we know. She can't be glamored because she's still under the guise
yep.
of Prince Dane before he died, and so she obviously gets to keep this ability.
Yep.
And she's not affected whatsoever. But the queen would, when she was glamoring her, she told Jude, "Oh, you love us. You love us very much. You'll never tell anyone how much you love us. You are loyal to us, and you would do absolutely everything for us."
Yep.
So she, the queen, Balkin, and Nikki are all under the impression now that she is under their control.
Yes.
Which she's not. But Jude, being the clever bug she is, decides that she's just going to play this game.
Yep. She's going to play along.
Yeah.
So she does her best to sort of like say, yes, I love you. You are my queen. Yeah. And all that good stuff.
I love that she did it, but I hate that she does this at the same time because it's so gross to me. But at the same time, it's like she has to do this.
Yeah, it's the smart move.
Yeah. You don't want to be like, oh, I can't be glamored because that's ridiculous. That would be a stupid move on her part.
That would be a stupid move.
So, yeah, it's great that she did that.
And then Balkin then asks Jude if she is going to receive Oak.
Yeah.
Because, again, we're still... Oak is still destined for the throne. Balkin knows this. He wants Oak.
Yeah. So he pretty much tells Jude, will you bring us Oak? And she says, yeah, she'll do whatever they want. And so she'll go ahead and go get Oak. And
then they also... So she agrees to that. She obviously she's pretending she's glamored. And then the queen also wants to know, and I think Balkin too is interested, in why Jude helped Cardan get the crown.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jude tells them mainly because she wanted to be his right hand and be this king's advisor, the seneschal or whatever it is.
So she plays it off like that was her main goal. It wasn't what it really is to put her brother on the throne eventually. And it's just for safekeeping. But so she plays it off like I just wanted power, which was true. She does want power, but she doesn't want that kind of power. But if they go back to her beginning, you would see that was what she wanted. So it wasn't too far-fetched for them to believe it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Nikki still is like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You know, I think Nikki had doubts in believing that.
Yeah.
But she still was just like, okay, whatever.
Kind of I think they just kind of accept it. I mean, because they think that she's glamored, so this must be... It must be that, whether Nikki fully believes it or not. Because nobody knows that she can't be glamored, really. I mean, maybe Taryn knows, or maybe nobody at this point knows. I don't know.
I can't remember who doesn't know.
I don't either.
I know there's a few people who I think her spies know. No, her spies don't even know she can't be glamored yet.
That's right.
Because they're still under the impression. Nobody really knows, actually. Yes. I think she's kept it to herself.
And so that's pretty much all that happens at dinner. And then Nikki escorts her back to, I think, a different location, which ends up being some sort of cave. And Nikki tries to glamour Jude and makes her think that it's
a beautiful room,
beautiful palace. And then also that she provided her decadent meal and food and stuff.
And so she's like rolling around on the ground like, this is the best room.
Yeah, having to pretend.
Yeah, she has to because, you know, I mean, she's got to play this role great.
Yep.
We did forget something, though, and during the dinner they discussed Grimson is actually a part working with Nikki and the Queen. And apparently they're discussing that Grimson, the blacksmith, will be making a new crown because he was the original maker of the crown and the throne.
Yes.
And so they were trying to get him to make a new crown so they could do away with the old crown.
Yes.
So that they could make whoever, I think Belkin was their idea.
Yeah. Or even, I think at this point too, they still want Nikki to be queen.
Yeah. So they want something.
Yeah.
But they want a new crown being made.
Yes.
In case something doesn't go as planned. What the original plan is for Nikki to be. But I think queen. Belkin still wants the throne.
Oh, Belkin absolutely wants the throne. He's playing his own game for sure.
Yeah.
And as is both Queen and Nikki are playing their own game too.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're doing this at the same time, but yeah, so Jude's back in her so-called prison room and just rolling around on the nasty floor, I'm assuming. I think it's a floor. I don't know. They're underwater, so.
Yeah, I think it's just like an empty cave.
Yeah.
And they kind of just leave her there and don't.
For a while.
Time. They leave her there and they give her seawater to drink, which of course is filled with salt.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Probably not great for her to continuously be drinking. And then they don't really give her a lot of food. And also during this time, she is going through withdrawals, which I think is so interesting. Like the fact that, because again, she's been taking these poisons to build up her immunity to them, and has become slightly addicted to them, and was also experiencing earlier some feelings of withdrawal or like cravings for it. It was the cravings for it. And so here she is experiencing the withdrawals, and it's tough, obviously, because she's withdrawing from.
And I'm glad, the author reminded us that she had, because I completely forgot that she was taking that. Every now and then she does a reminder. Oh yeah, I was taking this. I was taking that. Every night before bed, I would take my potions or pills or whatever it is. She was very good about reminding us that, because it is important that, she was taking this stuff every day to, thwart the plans of her enemies.
Yeah.
And so her withdrawal now is almost like she doesn't have that immunity when she goes back up to the, and it's good that she made note of that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I 100% agree. It feels like this could have easily been swept underneath the rug and just let it go. But I love that Holly remembered and brought it back to remind us that, hey, she is actually experiencing more than just whatever basic torture she's experiencing. She's actually going through withdrawal. Let's close this loop on this issue right here. I love that because maybe some other authors would have just let that shit slide and just assumed that you had forgot about it.
And so, it was a good time. It was, like you said, it was a good ending to that part of what she was going through. And now she's going through all that extra turmoil. And, so she's going through the sweats, the anxiety, the sickness. And now she's drinking the seawater because she can't deal with it anymore. She needs something.
Yep.
So it's a horrible time for her.
Yep.
And I think by the time she does kind of like get through that a little bit and she's kind of awakens, I think that's when Belkin comes to visit.
Yes.
Oh, I hate this part so much.
Yes. I hate this part too. It's gross.
It is very gross. Ugh.
And then also I think while she's in this cave too, she's begrudgingly thinking about Cardin, which is what she does often, right? She doesn't want to admit to herself, so therefore she never really truly admits to us her actual feelings for him. She's always trying to hide it. So when her guards are a little bit down, when she's struggling with the other things, being captive, they start to sleep. That's not the word I'm looking for. Seep in.
There you go.
Without the L. They sort of seep into her. So we get a little bit of glimpse of that. And then of course, Belkin comes in and he has his own plans for.
I can't stand him.
Cardin.
He's so disgusting. Yeah. So he's pretty much asking her all these questions, just wanting to know, I don't even really know, like, why she was still, because I think he was still wanting to know why she was still helping him. But in more detail, I think he was asking her a little bit more questions. Because why he wanted the crown. She thinks, I don't even think he thinks that Cardin wanted the crown, because he would say to her, he never had any kind of ambition or goals or anything. He was just lazy. And why all of a sudden would he want the crown?
Yeah.
Because Jude said she wanted power. That's why she crowned Cardin.
Yes.
But why would Cardin want the crown? Yeah, and the power. And so she pretty much said to him, I don't even know what was her answer. It was kind of like she didn't, because she can lie.
Yeah, she just said she gave a whole bunch of reasons and that were lies.
Yeah, and so he kind of
Probably
believed
just
it.
Easy reasons like, oh, well, he actually decided he wanted power.
Yeah.
Or he didn't want to sit in the shadows.
He was sick of you beating the crap out of him. Or
exactly.
Something like that. Like he was sick of being under your wing or whatever, and he didn't want you to have the power. So it was a bunch of reasons. Obviously,
bunch of lies.
Yeah, it's not important to us. It's just to feed him bullshit. But then he's like, oh, this is so disgusting. So he's trying to like use his power over Jude that he thinks he has right now because he believes she's glamorous.
Yes.
To kind of turn her more to his side instead of the queen's side.
Yes.
So this is when he's like, "What would you do for me? Come over here and kiss me." And so he's like, she kisses him, but then after this, which is even more gross, he goes, "Kiss me like you do like you would kiss Carden."
Yeah, like you would kiss Carden.
And she does.
She does.
She like embraces
gotta play
that
her
moment.
part.
Oh, so
disgusting
to me.
It's gross. But it plays into that scenario that everybody thinks of them anyways, right? Which is that
a disgusting group of fucking power hungry pieces of crap.
Yep. It's gross. Yeah, this reminded me of like the creepy gross uncle.
Yeah.
Like, it just gave creepy gross uncle vibes.
Pretty much, because she is way younger.
Yeah.
She's like what, 18, 19 now? Because she started out 17 in the first book.
Oh, okay.
So
she could probably be like 18.
Yeah.
Because only 5 or 6 months have passed.
Yeah. But since that, and then the first book, you don't know how long that time elapse was.
Yeah.
They don't really say how many days she went through before the coronation.
Yeah. I mean, I would say anywhere under 20. She's under 20.
And the uncle is gross. I would say 25. Maybe even close to 30.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's the firstborn. So if Carden is the youngest, he could be.
He is the firstborn. Yeah. I forgot.
So he could be 45.
That's so disgusting.
He could even be older because who knows when the.
That's right. Yeah. And they do say that Fae kids are hard to conceive, so it could be 5, 6, 7 years before the next kid.
Yep.
And they live for a very long time.
I picture him a lot older, like around 45, 50.
You know, I know you're right, but I don't want to believe that.
I feel like
so
Dane
disgusting.
was more 25, yeah, you're right. 30.
And I keep forgetting so Dane is crowned. Well, they try to crown Dane, and for some reason I keep thinking he's older.
Oh, yeah.
Because they crowning him, but he is the third born. So
yes.
That's true. Okay, so yeah.
Anyway, so it's gross. So creepy uncle vibes confirmed.
Yes.
It was bad. She did it, though, because Jude's a troop. She played her role. She got away with it. He left. He's fully convinced that this girl is under his glamour. And he says, essentially, that, I think he says right here, does he say right here? No, I think he says when she's about to leave, what he wants her to do. Does he say it right here?
It's probably
it's
right
next.
Here.
It's next. Okay, so after this Belkin scene, then I think maybe another day or so comes by.
It's a while again because she's left alone again.
Yes,
and then she finds out that
Carden has bargained for her release.
Yeah, which surprises her.
Because the scenario that we have with them is, just as a quick recap, is that she has control over him via an oath. And in her opinion, he hates her.
Yeah.
She hates him as well. And so it makes more sense that Carden would be happy that she would have been stolen away, because therefore he doesn't have to listen to her commands anymore.
No, yeah, and not only Carden, but her dad, because it says the High King and I think Maddox was bargaining for her return. So she's thinking, well, first, why would Carden want me back?
Yes.
And my dad knows that I'm in control of Carden, because right before she was taken, her dad found out.
Yes.
Because he was eavesdropping.
At the wedding.
Yeah. So he also knows. So being that the case, she's just like, why would anybody want to bargain for me back? And what is the bargain that what did they do? Yeah. So she's worried.
And also, and we did mention that she was thinking about him during this time, and while she was thinking about him, she was wanting him to save her.
Yeah,
like, she was having those thoughts of like, I wish Carden would save me, all those things. And so it's
have her feelings for him, but now she's like, why
now it's super suspicious because it doesn't make any sense.
No.
And then it's at this time before she is released, because they dress her back in her old clothes, and then I think Belkin grabs her away real quick and has a conversation with her and essentially tells her that she needs to come to Hallow Hall as soon as she's able. He's going to drop a red cloth or if a red cloth is ever to appear in her path, then she is to go to him immediately, and then she is to find a way to kill Cardan with nobody knowing.
Yeah.
And so that's his glamored command to her, which of course she accepts. She says yes. And they need Cardan dead because that's the only way that Grimson can make another crown.
Yeah. And so that was very important. And she's just like taking all this in because she plans on giving this information back to Cardan and, you know, her spies.
Yes.
So, yeah, so they bring her back up to the surface. But she's dressed in her clothing from the wedding, which is just deteriorating because it's been under the seawater.
Yes, it's deteriorating, but also she is deteriorated. So the clothes are and remember, this is the like silver dress. I think that was like really low cut. That was very.
It was given by the mom, right?
Yeah, Oriana.
Yeah.
So it was very like it was like a sexy gown that she was put into, and now
she lost all this weight.
She lost all this weight, so it's hanging on her.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it is deteriorating as well.
And so the Belkin gives her these pearls, I think, too, as well. And like dresses her up and extra stuff. It's gross to me. That part is gross to me as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's brought up to shore wearing all her old stuff and parts of whatever Belkin and the queen gave her. And she's met by Cardan and Maddox waiting there with soldiers.
Yes.
On this island.
And I think they put her on like a shark too. Like I love the imagery of this, and they like raise her up to the surface. It's so cool. It's so fantasy.
Yes, I loved it.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, I love that she was returned. I love that whole part because I'm like, oh, I'm so glad she's out of there.
Yes.
Because like even though I was wondering about the worlds undersea, I really hated that she was held captive by them with that disgusting uncle.
Oh yeah, always just coming to like hit on her. I don't even know like why. Why do you need to?
I'm just so glad it's over.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to get any worse. So being that it was only, I think, maybe a few chapters it was like 2 chapters of that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad, or a couple, actually more like 2 chapters. So yeah, so now that she's back up, we didn't experience it for very long.
And Queen brings her up to the surface with like her people and her entourage, and basically says that the debt for Jude has been paid, so that's why they're bringing her back up. And then she also announces that Belkin is the ambassador, is her new ambassador.
Yeah, and so now because he's the new ambassador, he can't be put back into the Tower of Forgetting.
Yep.
So now he is their go-to between the 2 worlds, or realms, or whatever you want to call it. And now he has to deal with them. And so Jude has to deal with him.
Yep.
Obviously, because she's got to transfer what information and do all these biddings for the Queen and Jude, or the Queen and Belkin.
Yeah, and they have some sort of like quasi treaty so like you're saying, yes, they have to work together often.
Yeah.
And of course we know, and I'm sure Cardan and obviously Jude knows, that at the end of the day Belkin just wants his throne back.
Yeah.
So it's no good for anybody that he's the ambassador to anything, that he's going to be in and around Cardan.
No.
So it's all around just bad. But also during this time, as Jude is being brought back up, Cardan makes a note. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he does make note that he's very upset with
how
the state of Jude, that she looks, I'm sure, just horrible.
Yeah.
Starved.
Yeah.
And this is obviously not the Jude that he remembers, which is fierce.
Yeah. And he's pissed, so he's not happy. He made the comment he made was more like, I'm not happy with the way you've treated her. Obviously, she looks like the way she does, but he makes it well known that he is not happy with her treatment.
Which is again odd, right? Because we think that
he doesn't care for her.
He doesn't care, and that like he should have been happy that she was taken away. So it was an interesting comment that he makes here. And then I thought that she was going to go back to the palace, but instead she goes to Maddox's estate.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy, because I wonder if Cardan even knows about this. Because now is Maddox working with Cardan? I'm assuming so, if he was with Cardan at the...
Yeah, they had to have worked together to come up with whatever deal, I would think. I mean, and Maddox is still the Grand General.
Yeah, so now it's almost like he was stepping in Jude's place and kind of helping Cardan run things, is what it seems like. Because if he was there at the at the meeting, I assumed he was part of the bargain. So he must be whispering, and knowing Maddox, he must be whispering stuff in Carden's ear.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, to take Jude back. But I mean, that is his daughter, so it kind of would make sense. But he also knows now about Jude. So it feels like he's purposely removing Jude.
Yes, I agree with you. I just don't understand why Carden didn't want his advisor right back underneath his...
That's what I wonder too. But Maddox being Maddox, he must have convinced Carden, hey, she doesn't look well. Let me bring her to the estate. Take care of her.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of, because that is his daughter. And Carden doesn't know that Maddox knows.
That's right.
So that's the only thing I could think of, because I kept going back and forth with why would Carden allow that? But maybe Carden doesn't want her to come back because he doesn't want her whispering in his ear to tell her. You know, there was a whole bunch of things that I was thinking about. But then why would Carden want her back if he doesn't want her by his side?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we know how the end of the book ends, so I don't think that's the option. I think he would have wanted her there.
He must have been convinced.
Yeah, so he must have been convinced, because what? I don't know.
It was just so much things.
It's a weird moment. I don't know why she ends up at Maddox's estate.
It was just so much that was going through my head, and the one thing I just came down with too at this moment was that Maddox must have convinced Carden that he wants to care for his daughter right after being held hostage.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, this is a safe place for her to go. Everybody assumes she'll go to the palace. Let me keep her here till she heals. Because that's kind of what we learned too, that she's there just to be healed before she goes back.
Yes, because
there anyways.
Because her family is tending to her and being there with her. And I feel like, in some degree, Maddox was wanting his daughter to be with him so she could be cared for. But we know that he also had an agenda.
Yeah, Maddox is a weird character. Yeah. It's like I have a love-hate relationship with him, because he does a lot of things where he's like a dad.
A good dad.
And he loves these girls.
Yeah.
And it's hard, though, because Jude is also putting herself in positions where it's forcing his hand sometimes, so he has to act a certain way. It's a complicated relationship.
It is.
It's so well done.
Yes. It's perfect, though.
It's perfect. And this is one of the things where, yes, it does make sense that he would fight for his daughter to come back into his... Because that's what he keeps doing this entire book, and that's all he wants, is for her to come back onto his side. So it would make sense. That's his ulterior motive, is to bring her over, and probably during this time.
And now I almost feel like he's healing her. He wants her back, but also he knows now that she has control of the king, and to him that's like, oh, you know, his great moment. He's like, I have a daughter who's controlling the king.
Yes.
I wanted to rule, but I have a daughter who's pretty much essentially ruling. And I think,
so if I could rule her, then I could rule the king. That's what he's thinking about.
Yes. And so that's why I believed that was my that was in my head, was why she was back there. That's
really what kills him for me the whole time. Is that's the one thing that he has that's bad about him. If he would just stop pulling for power, he would be a fine character.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's all he thinks about, that's how he's programmed, that's his every move, regardless of who it is. He's constantly just like, because it would be cool to be like, oh, my daughter has control of the king. I could sit back. I can talk to her. We could be allies. But no, he's like, no, I want control.
I want control of whoever who has the king. Yeah. That's what he wanted. And he's not denying it at all.
Yeah, no.
He's straight telling her, I'm going to control you.
Yeah. Maddox is a complicated creature. Yeah. But yeah, so she's brought back. Tatterfeld's tending to her. Taryn comes in. They have a conversation. Taryn gives us a timeline and lets us know that it was a month that she was under the water.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy amount of time to have been taken, and then just... I can only imagine. I wish I could get a perspective of that time from what was going on in the castle, Maddox's reaction to this for a whole month. I'm just shocked Maddox didn't storm the sea. You know what I mean? I want to be a fly on the wall to the conversation that happened during this entire month.
And Carden too. How long did it take them to find out, first of all, that she was kidnapped? Mm-hmm. Because did the spies tell them right away? I don't know. That, like you said, it would have been really crazy to know what had been on their side. And I would have liked an extra, I don't know, novella of that.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
Change.
Yeah.
But not in the book, but yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Like
a little novella.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, we learned that it's been a month, and then that also Dulcamara is demanding to see Jude.
And I think that's from the Court of Teeth, right? No.
No, she is
Court of
Roybin's.
Termites.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roybin's guard or
general or something.
General.
Yeah.
A high member in his court.
Yeah.
And King Roybin is the one that she made the deal with that if he backed her, he owed her a promise. And so here they are. Jude's on her deathbed. Here they are knocking to reclaim what their promise was, to turn in their
and she was like
for the bargain.
Yeah, she was going hard. She's like, I want to see her. She's yelling in the estate, and everybody's like, no, she's not. The thing is like, she is not to have anybody meet her or something, but she found a way around it. She's like, well, they didn't say she couldn't have any visitors.
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't have any an audience or something. But she's like, well, she couldn't have any visitors. She couldn't have visitors. So why can't I visit her? I don't understand. And so I think Jude comes out and hears this and tells her, yeah, come up, I'll talk to you or whatever. And she pretty much says, hey, the king gave the undersea permission to attack us. So we have people who are dying, who have been murdered. And now we're forbidden to retaliate because they made their stupid little bargain between each other.
To get her back.
Yeah. And she's just like, we want you to kill Prince Belkin now. She's like, that's our repayment, is for you to kill Prince Belkin.
Yes. So yeah, essentially the deal was, okay, I don't even know that the deal was that, I guess it's unclear to me. In my head, I don't think that Cardan, allowed them to. Maybe he knew about it and he didn't stop it, but I think the bargain was that they just couldn't retaliate, and if they didn't retaliate, then he could have Jude.
I think they were actually given permission to attack.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Given permission to attack, and because they are one of the low courts.
Yeah.
They're the undercourts who really don't. I mean, they have like a part of the kingdom, but I think they're still seen as outside the kingdom. But they claim fealty and loyalty to the king. So I think I wrote that they have permission.
That's
so
wild.
I'm assuming that's what it was, because that's what she said.
And then why?
Maybe she just didn't understand that it wasn't permission, but she's pretty much, they did it anyways.
Yeah, like, they gave permission for him to attack. I don't know, maybe, she's saying it out of anger or something. Yeah. Because that's wild.
Because the king never said he gave permission. They just said, you can't attack.
Yeah.
Because then it means war.
Which makes more sense than him just being like, but then if that's the cost to get Jude back, maybe he was like,
whatever, we'll just have to ignore this. So maybe they didn't really say, yes, go ahead. Maybe it was more of just, we'll ignore it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't think it was necessary permission. Like you said, I think she said that out of anger. But she's the one stating this. So that doesn't mean that the king actually did give permission.
Yeah, this is just her perception.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's there to call in her bargain. Again, the bargain is to kill Prince Belkin. That's which... That couldn't be a more perfect fucking
solution.
Deal. Yeah.
I would kill Prince Belkin.
I would be like, done. Consider that shit done.
But she said she can't, though, because she said, Jude says she can't because they will...
It will start war. Because now he's the ambassador. So yes, okay, it's not quite as easy as, let's just go kill him.
It would be nice, though.
It would be nice.
I would kill him.
I'm sure, she was right. I'm sure Jude has no hesitation to be like, yes, I'll kill.
No, she's been killing people left and right, stuffing them under her bed.
And this man forced kissed her twice.
Yeah.
So she's ready. Just tell her when.
Nasty.
But
nasty.
It is nasty.
But yeah, so she wants to be able to, like, do these things and whatever, and play her role that she needs to play back at the king's side. And so she's sick of sitting at the house.
Yeah, she's ready.
Yeah.
Our girl cannot sit idle for any amount of time.
So you know what she does? Because there's only one way out.
Oh, yeah.
She jumps off the balcony. Not even in a good state. Like, she would do it on her good state and she'd be fine. But, like, this girl is falling to pieces.
Skin and bones. Yeah, at this point.
And she just, like, pretty much falls off the balcony. I don't even think she lands properly. I think she just, like... falls. I think she like legit like falls.
Just throws herself off the balcony.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So I think the first thing she wanted to do was to go straight to the palace.
Yeah, because in her mind, she's the advisor. She could just walk right in.
Why shouldn't she be allowed to?
Nope.
But everybody at Maddox Estate, we forgot to mention this, doesn't want her going anywhere. They think she should still be tended to. So that's why she jumps off the balcony. Yeah. It's not like she can go out the front door because no one wants her to leave.
Yes.
Maddox is doing everything in his power to keep her there at the estate that she's noticed so far. So when she makes her way to the palace, she sees guards at the front. She's just like, hey, I'm the fucking advisor. Let me through. And they're like, nope, Maddox orders.
Orders.
We're told to send you back to the state if you come here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so crazy. I mean, so he does rule over these, I'm sure, 90% of the guards, right? Because he's the commander. Grand General. Yeah. So, but like, that's wild.
Yeah.
And of course, at this point, she's thinking Carden must be in on it because there's no way Maddox would just make this rule without telling the king.
Yeah, because like how would this get past the king, if anything?
Yeah.
So she's just like, okay, fine, fuck you, pretty much. No, I don't need a ride. Don't give me a ride. I ain't trying to go with you. Yeah. So she's like, let me go to the Court of Shadows. Mm-hmm. So she goes to the entryway where the Court of Shadows would have been, and it's like bombed. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh shit, is this a betrayal to me, or is the Court of Shadows like, are they dead? Or it's like she's going through all these ideas and thoughts of what have happened. She doesn't know the extent of how bad the betrayal is. Yeah. She doesn't know if it's all of them. She doesn't know if it's just one of them. Yep. But she does know it's Ghost, but she doesn't know to what degree.
Or if Ghost had also, like you said, betrayed everybody else, killed, because that's what she's worried about right now. Is the Roach alive? Is the bomb alive?
Yeah, and all the other people
recruiting. Yeah, because they had a whole plethora of people. Mm-hmm. So she can't get in that way.
So she's walking around the area and she runs into the former advisor, Val Morin, and she asks him to help her get her in the palace, and he just refuses.
He's useless.
He is.
A reminder, he's immortal.
Yeah.
So what good are you? And what is he doing here?
Like, I don't know.
Your king has died. You are advising no one.
Yeah, and he's just everywhere for some reason, just pops up. Like he's supposed to be this important sage and like giving her advice, but it's like he's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
He's popping up, giving her negative.
Just like chiding her and giving her like snide remarks about things. Like, go away.
Fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. I am so sick of him. I hope he dies a horrible death. He needs to go away.
Yeah.
So anyways, dude's like, I don't know what else to do. I'm not going back to the state. I can't get in the palace. He's like, you know what? Why don't I work with my enemy to get me in? I'm going to go talk to
Belkin.
The creepy uncle. I'm going to go talk to the creepy uncle. So she goes to Belkin. So she gets to Hollow Hall. It's so hard for me to say. She gets to Hollow Hall and she pretty much she meets with Belkin right away and she tells him like, how am I supposed to kill Carden if I can't get in?
Yeah, she tells him Maddox has stopped her.
So she's able to. She's telling the truth.
Yeah.
She tells him everything.
Maddox has stopped her. How am I supposed to kill Carden if I can't get to him?
So she's going to utilize his ways to be able to get close to Carden, because essentially what she wants to do is tell Carden what she knows.
Yes. Yeah. But of course she's so smart. She's like, I need to kill him. Help me kill him. Please.
Help me help you.
Yeah. Help me help you. And he essentially says, hey, they're having a ball.
Yeah.
And I'll go in at that time. And I think it's the next day or something like that.
Yeah, it's really close in time.
Yeah. So I'm having a ball. Go get a dress. And you can make your attempt at killing him during the time of the ball. So she's like, okay, she still has nowhere to go. So she ends up sneaking. I think she leaves and then she sneaks back in.
Yeah.
And then she sneaks up to Carden's room
and she
goes to sleep in Carden's room.
Well,
all of the rooms.
I love it. I love that she stayed in Carden's room. But what I don't love is right before she does this, fucking Belkin in his creepy uncle form decides that he wants to glamour her some more into being like telling her, you are mine.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I am your creature.
I'm just like blocking his shit
I know, but like it's important to know.
She does say, I'm your creature.
I want you to feel this with us because what happens in the future is very rewarding.
Yeah.
When you know all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, he pretends to glamour. Well, he does try to glamour her, and she pretends to believe it and tells him, "Yes, I am your creature. I will do anything for you."
It's gross too because normally that's sort of like you're mine. That's like what I want to hear, but not from him. So when it came from him, it's just like, ugh, no. I don't want those out of your mouth.
Yes, and the word creature. I am your creature.
Yeah.
Like, So disgusting.
Yeah, it was. I completely blocked that out of my mind. I didn't even remember that.
If this could be in, like, if I was reading on my book and not the Kindle, I would have probably taken a marker to that page and just like,
redacted it. I don't ever want to read this again.
So gross. But yeah, so she leaves to come back only to sneak in. Because, like, I love that part too, because she leaves, she's like, where am I going?
Yeah, I have nowhere to go.
So we just sneak back in. And the funny thing, she even says, I've snuck in here so many times that it's easy for me to do.
Yeah.
So she does it. Yeah, she gets all comfy, cozy, and sleeps, and, like, nobody knows she's there.
Yeah. And I love that this girl's trying to convince us and herself that she has no feelings for Carden, but
what does she do?
She's sleeping in his room. Yeah. She's curled up in his bed. She's under his covers.
I think like, smelling is... Yeah, I think she did. I think she was just like... I can't remember, but...
She is so funny. Yeah. I love her, like, attempting to not be falling for him. Like, I just think it's so funny, and then here she is sleeping in his room.
So after she, like, gets rest, and I think she even goes to the kitchen and eats some food. I'm pretty sure she does. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, well, shit, she's starving. She doesn't eat for a month.
You got to go on a journey, you know. She decided, and the smart way of thinking, if she remembered, she was just like, I'm gonna go back to the areas where Carden used to be, because there's that passageway to his new rooms, and she knows how to get up there. So she has to climb this. So she gets there, she walks up, and she's climbing this tower.
Still not at her full capacity.
No,
this girl is like, I can fucking climb a wall.
No, that's fine. And when she's up there, she's like, oh shit, I'm going to fall.
Yeah, I have no strength. I am. She's crazy,
but she makes it. She makes it up there. Yeah, because she's badass, Jude. And she gets into the fucking room, and she goes straight to the passageway, right into Carden's room, where he's sleeping like a little fucking. Like a little baby.
Like a little baby.
Yeah, he's just sound.
And Jude's like, no, we can't have that.
She's like, no, I came back from the undersea to deal with this shit. You're going to hear what I have to say. And so what she does, instead of, like, tenderly waking him up, she, like, covers his mouth. Yeah. And he's, like, kicking and screaming.
Fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
Because you're the king. And people are trying to assassinate you left and right. And I didn't know that you're sleeping and somebody's got their hand over your mouth. Like, okay.
And he realizes it's her.
And he's trying to fight, like...
Then he stops fighting and he like brings her in or whatever.
Yeah, and like rolls her on the bed.
So cute.
It was so cute.
And she's like, hey, people are trying to kill you, and he's like, well, it's not you, because obviously I'm awake.
Yeah.
He's like, you let me wake up. I love that he's so terrified of her and then loves her at the same time. Yes. He's like, I'm scared of you, but come closer.
Yeah. I'm terrified of you, but you didn't kill me, so please cuddle with me.
So you must love me.
He's so cute.
Yes, he is really cute.
And then essentially she tells him too as well, hey, Maddox's not letting me see you.
Yeah, and he's like, I will fix that.
Yeah, like, did you know about this? Yeah, and he's like, no, I didn't, but I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah. And then in their little conversation, them being all cute, I was hoping that they had a moment, but the moment is even it's the one that, because Bomb and Roach are just like
bust on it.
Yeah, like, who's fucking trying to kill our king? Mm-hmm. So I think they even shoot an arrow or whatever. A bolt. And Jude's like...
Probably from Roach, because she missed. So.
Yeah, she's very bad. She's always missing.
Yes.
It's very important.
But she's not known for her bolt skills.
No.
She's known for her bomb skills, so we forgive her.
Yeah, we forgive her. And so, while, they're trying to figure out if she's glamored, because Jude and Roach have this, uncanny ability to know what the hell's going on, even though nobody else does. Mm-hmm. They know that she's possibly glamored.
Yes.
By Belkin.
And possibly sent there to kill him. Mm-hmm.
And so Carden's trying to tell them, like, no, she can't be glamored. She can't be glamored.
And I think he even says, if she came here to kill me, I would have been dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, why don't you try and glamour her and prove it to us? Mm-hmm. And he's just like, okay. So I think he gets a little kick out of it.
Of course.
But I know he knows he can't glamour her. Mm-hmm. But, like, what does he say? I can't even remember.
Crap.
He says something to her.
He does say
like,
something.
Crawl to me.
Yes.
Because it's in reference to what
Book one. Yeah. When he did that.
And I think he just smiles and says, crawl to me. And she's just like, no.
Anytime he can toss a little, like, jab at her, he always does it. And it's well deserved, though, because at the end of the day, she did betray him and stick a crown on his head. So
it's great. I like that.
He gives it to her whenever he can, but in, like, the most playful way.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does say crawl to me. She just kind of looks at him like, I fucking hate you.
I think she eye rolled him and shit like that. She's like, whatever, I'm not doing that shit.
And of course, she doesn't crawl to him, so thus proving she is not glamored.
And then they ask her, why can't you be glamored? And then she's now finally starting to tell people why. Because Carden knew. I don't think a lot of other people knew. Maybe one of her sisters knew.
Did Carden know?
Yeah, because Carden told them she can't be glamored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm losing track of who knew and who doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really. Yeah, I think only really Carden knew at this point, and maybe her sister, her older sister. I think she told her older sister everything.
Viv.
Yeah, but I think that was it. Now Bomb and Roach finally know, which is great. Which is great that they know, because now they know that she's truly not trying to do anything crappy, and she really is still part of the Court of Shadows.
Yes.
And so Carden, so Bomb and Roach leave, and Carden tells her, "Hey, there's a masquerade tomorrow," but she already knew about that.
Well, I think and then I think that's when also she tells him, like, that's when Belkin wants me to kill you at this masquerade ball that's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, and she tells him, "Oh, Royben is going to be there and he's going to yell at you." And he's like, who doesn't want to yell at me? And she said something about Belkin dying, and he says that he can't die because he's an ambassador, and Grimson will be sent somewhere.
Oh, yeah. So I think this is when she tells him that's what the bargain is that they want... Prince Royben wants her to kill Belkin. She's telling him that, and he tells her, no, do not kill Belkin. One, because he's the ambassador, but also two, Carden is not into the idea of killing...
No, his family members are already dead.
Yeah.
He doesn't want more
bloodshed. And I don't even know if it's the fact that it's his brother. I mean, I'm sure that plays a role in it, but also he's just sort of against this idea of retaliating that sort of way.
Yeah, he's done
because he's not a killer.
Yeah.
So he's not going to condone killing either. Which I like that about him, because he's supposed to be this...
He says he's not a killer.
Cruel prince and this wicked king, but in fact, he is actually a big softie.
Yeah, and he even says multiple times, I'm not a killer.
Mm-hmm. So he tells Jude, absolutely not, do not kill my brother. And then that's pretty much the end of that conversation.
Yeah, Jude just takes a nappy nap next to her prince. All cuddled up, sweet and cute. And then
the prince that she doesn't love.
No, how dare he?
Who also, he does not have feelings for her.
No, this is just a cuddle session.
This is just a cuddle, no strings attached cuddle session.
Yeah, just sweet. They're just gonna cuddle session. That's all.
Then they go off to Dreamland, and then she wakes up, and there's that awkward, she's sneaking out of the room, right? Or is he there?
I don't remember. I don't remember this. I don't even think they even talked about it. I think it was just she just laid in bed with him and cuddled with him or whatever.
And she needs a dress now to go to this ball.
Yeah. So the ball that she's going to go kill her love with.
Yeah. So she has to go murder her love to be with her. I wonder if his Belkin's end game is to have her with him. Because he feels like he's crushing hard on her. I don't know.
I keep wanting to just not think about that. So gross. So gross. But yeah, so now she's going to go to the mall, which I think of it as a mall, but it's their little market area where they can go get all this finery and stuff. And it's called the cutest little freaking thing, the Mandrake Market.
The Mandrake Market.
So cute. So cute.
I love it. I need a little Mandrake Market sign.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's adorable. I imagine all the little potions and something lo-fi that you would put on your TV. And, so cute.
Welcome to the Mandrake Market, where all of your walnut dresses can be purchased, because that's what she ends up getting.
Yeah, she meets Mother Marrow, and she just talks to Jude, and she decides, oh yeah, you need a dress. I got this awesome little dress in a walnut for you.
Yes,
let me trade for you with it.
Yes, and sorry, but I believe Mother Marrow is the hag we meet in the beginning of this book. I don't remember. Sorry, they're clashing together, but the one who tries to trick Carden into
marrying her daughter
by giving her the snake silk, but giving him the snake silk. I think that's who this is. You said you're unsure.
I don't know. I don't really know who she is.
I feel like in my heart that's who she is, but she might not be, but that's who I think she is. So I'm just going to note that in here.
I mean, it very well could be. I imagine her as an old hag anyway. So it very well could be. But yeah, so she trades Jude for a walnut, and inside this walnut is supposed to be a dress. And I don't know. I can only imagine it being this ugly tan brown dress.
Yeah, well, it's a walnut. So.
Yeah.
What other color could it possibly be?
I don't know. They know they describe it as something really beautiful later, but I cannot recall it as that.
And for some reason, I just can't get over the fact that in my head it is wrinkly, because it's been inside this wall. I know it's magic. I get that it's magic, but in my head, she pulls out this ugly ass, wrinkly tan brown. I don't know, but I will say though, I love Holly's imagination here, because the fact that this is even a thing. The fact that there's a dress in a walnut and we're treating it as like, so yeah, of course, that's how you buy your dresses from the hags down the street.
In a walnut. It's so
funny. At the Mandrake Market, of course.
And then how do you get this dress out of the walnut? Do you crack it? Do you put it in water? Like, what do you do?
Do
like,
we bury it?
Yeah.
Like, I love it. But also she trades her earrings that she got from Balekin to get those like pearl earrings that he gave her. So, you know, fuck him, good riddance. Take these earrings.
Get them off me. I don't
even know why she's wearing them. Oh well, she is trying to like, I'm glamored, so here I'll wear the earrings that you gave me.
Let me show you my loyalty. Whatever. It's so disgusting. But now she needs a mask, and she bumps into this little shop owner, I guess, and pretty much she likes their masks, and he tells her, here, you can have it as long as you come to me with, you know, let me make something for the king. Mm-hmm. And she agrees to it, and she says, well, you know, how very generous of you. And that's all that they ask of her. And then you never hear from this.
Yeah, this doesn't ever come up. Whoever this person is who wants to make something for Cardan.
It just doesn't come
At least in this book has not popped back up.
No, it doesn't. So after she does, she gets her stuff that she needs, you know, her little walnut, you know, no shopping bag, just a walnut and a mask, you know.
Walking down the street with her little dress of her little walnut dress.
And so she goes back to Hollow Hall and gets ready there, and Belkin knows she's there now because now she's supposed to pretty much like be at his side now. So she
gets
is also ready there
when he gives her the instruction on what the game plan is.
Yeah,
he tells her that the plan is that she's going to and then he does this in the glamour command sort of scenario or situation where he is commanding her and says, you're gonna drug Cardan or poison Cardan. Mm-hmm. You need to do it when nobody's there, and you need to get away and make sure nobody sees you. And so he gives her a vial of the poison to stick in her dress, or
somewhere.
Maybe the walnut turns into a little purse.
I don't.
She can.
That would be super cute. Have the dress and then the walnut purse to match. That's cute. Yeah, that's cute. Now for Masquerade, probably not, but it is a cute little idea.
Did they describe her mask? Because I'm imagining like now everything's brown, and I don't think that's the color to wear to a masquerade. There's like tans and browns, but I was picturing like a brown. Ooh, I was picturing like
maybe
a brown.
Even gold. Gold would get good, but you know, now we're just like making up our own like outfit for this.
The dress isn't even brown. I don't know what color it is, but you couldn't tell me it was any other color but brown. I would
tan brown to me. Yeah, it's so ugly. But yeah, no, I don't remember what they described the mask as, but I can imagine it's probably a darker color.
It's not. It is also not important. But I do want the whole. I'm trying to envision the picture, but I'm not getting it because everything's brown.
Same.
So then they head off. They're dressed. They have their plan. She's got her poison tucked away safely in her dress. And they show up to this.
They arrive together,
masquerade. She's like draped on his arm.
Ugh, gross. Ugh. Blech. Disgusting. Yeah, and then when she gets there, he pretty much like makes his entrance with her, so it's known that she's with him as a date. And Jude just kind of wanders off, and she runs into fucking Locke, who, as a reminder, the last that she saw was at the wedding, understanding in her head that he was the one who attacked her.
Yes.
So she goes up to him and pretty much gives him shit about how he attempted to kill her. And he goes, oh, this was just fun. It was just fun.
This was just fun. Yeah, that's why your ass was limping away.
Yeah.
Because Jude fucked your whole shit up. He brought 7 of his men.
Yeah, to do one little fucking... to mortal harm one person. Yeah.
One mortal 17... Well, I don't know how old it is. 18, 19-year-old girl. And she fucked you all up.
He deserved it. Yeah, so now he's all humiliated about it because he's just saying, oh, it was just fun. It was just fun. And he makes a comment she makes a comment, well, I will find time. And then that's when Taryn runs into them and goes, what are you guys discussing? Like, what are you talking about?
Find time for what?
Yeah. And he goes, oh, you know, Jude just really upset that the present she wanted to give you, I ended up giving you.
Which... I find so weird because Taryn doesn't ask more about that. Like,
she doesn't say anything.
If somebody was like, hey, I gave you a present your sister was supposed to give you, though Locke never mentioned anything, like, hey, this is from your sister, I'm just giving it to you. No, she doesn't ask anything about that, which I find was weird.
I find it was weird, but I also think maybe he only gave her one present his entire time with her, and that's probably why she didn't ask.
She's not trying to ask too many questions.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, the one present he gave me was actually from my sister? Like, okay, even if she did know what present it was, like, why wouldn't you be offended by the only present he gave you?
And that he lied and made you believe it was from him, but what stole it from your sister? Like, how did it even come from Jude's hands into Locke's hands? I would have so many questions about this. And
disgusting. disgusting. Like a lot of guys in this book disgust me. Yeah. Except for Cardan. Yeah. Like even Maddox sometimes just makes me so disgusted by his like how he acts sometimes towards George Jude.
Yeah.
Not disgusted in a sense where I'm disgusted that he's doing something gross. More like, why is it that you only care about this or that?
Yeah, power.
Can't
power. Yeah. That's all he cares about.
Like Jude, man, no wonder why she starts killing people, because I'd be fed up too.
She is fed up.
I start killing up all the guys in this book.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing too, well, the thing about Maddox is that he's the one that is the most complicated. Everybody else is just pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like you're not complicated. Locke isn't complicated. Balkan isn't complicated.
No.
Maddox is the only one. Cardan's just, I see him as like this, like a black golden retriever. Like that's how I see him. He's just aloof and silly.
And not trained properly.
He's not trained properly.
He's doing shit he shouldn't be doing because no one trained him properly.
Yeah, he's peeing on the floor. Yeah. He's eating all your shit.
Yeah,
but he's so lovable.
You're so cute, but you need to learn proper things. Like I'm gonna have to teach you how to do things. Mm-hmm. You know. But yeah, so she goes up to Locke and tells him off, and then while she's talking to Taryn and Locke, Lord Royben, the guy that's from the court of termites, mm-hmm. who was also the guy that the general, she's working with the general. He's working with the general. Mm-hmm. He's there and he's telling Jude like, "Hey, your king won't give me an audience. I've been requesting to talk to him, and he's just ignoring me and won't give me the satisfaction of at least talking to me mm-hmm. for my vengeance, because I want vengeance for what happened." And so it's like, obviously, he's not going to. It's at a party.
Yeah, I don't know why we're bringing this conversation up to Cardan at a party, because this is, especially when his reputation is that he's constantly drunk.
Yeah.
And that's just on the day-to-day he's constantly drunk. But now you're at a party, a ball that I assumed he was throwing because it was for the peace that has been brokered now between the undersea and the land.
Yeah. I don't
know why this was the opportunity to talk to the king about you're mad that you can't get vengeance.
No, it's not the right time or the place.
Yeah.
Not the right time or place. So yeah, Jude kind of just like brushes him off and be like, obviously it's not going to happen right now. And as she's like looking around, she sees that Cardan's mom is there. Mm-hmm. The same lady who was taken, or she saw at the Tower of Forgetting before she got kidnapped. Mm-hmm. She told her, just leave here. And, Cardan's mom pretty much didn't want anything to do with Cardan at that time. In fact, told Jude that don't tell him that I'm even going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was gonna go away and live her life free and away from the court. Nope. Here this bitch is just hanging around the court again. She doesn't talk to her, but she does make note of her. I don't think she has the option to, really, because then in stumbles the devil himself, Cardan, drunk as shit.
Yeah. And just making like all sorts of like craziness happen. Like he's just like stumbling all over the place.
I think he falls too.
Yes, he does.
He falls flat on his fucking face.
And that's
not a good look.
Yeah. And so Lord Royben takes it upon himself to just like bombard him up to Cardan and be like, I want vengeance. And Cardan's like, no, man, like this is a party. Stop it.
And nobody's getting vengeance.
No, nobody's getting vengeance. He's like, no, it'll be war. Like, no. And so Maddox is so furious with this whole situation. He goes to Jude and he's like, look, this is who you want to be king. Tell him to abdicate his throne. Like,
yeah, that's your man right there. This one right there who's on the floor.
Yeah.
Drunk as shit. That's who you're choosing over your family.
I see his point, but like,
you see his point from his point of view because he's so far removed.
Yes.
And I find this so interesting because everybody always sees Jude and Cardan's interaction as something to be like these two lovebirds. Yeah. They're too young. They're naive. She's choosing him over everything. Blah blah blah. But in reality, that's really not their scenario. They're both refusing to admit that they like each other just completely. So every decision that they've made has been so far removed from that. But everybody else has. That's all anybody else sees. Yeah. So I think this is such an interesting dynamic here that everyone is just sort of, putting their nose up at these naive children who are just doing stuff for love, but here in reality they're actually doing shit because they have actual plans. And Jude has her motives and Cardan has his, and then eventually maybe it falls into love, but at the end of the day that's not what it's for. But
no, they're constantly underestimating them because they're young. Mm-hmm. And Maddox always constantly is telling Jude that she's not his equal, and it's almost like these these people just are so prideful in what they think they are,
yes,
and who they are, that they don't want to understand that these two are actually more capable of doing like crazy good and also bad things that they just ignore,
that have nothing to do with these fleeting motions that everyone keeps sort of attributing their actions to. But I like that, because at the end of the day, you know, whether or not they do fall in love, I love that that's how people perceive it. That's not how they perceive it at all. Like, I love this.
And that's how that's how they're able to undermine all of these people.
Yes.
Because they underestimate them.
Because everyone's just like, oh, he's going to leave you, or, oh, he's like, as if those are threats to them.
And
it's like,
she don't care.
I don't care. That's not why I'm doing this. And I think Carden is a little bit more there than she is, because in her mind, Carden hates her. In her mind, Carden's evil. He's the wicked king. He's the cruel prince. Like, so she has these mental blocks, but I think Carden's more there. But
Carden's already in love with her.
Yeah, no.
Carden's just like, when she's done killing people and doing her plotting and planning, I'll be here.
I'll be here. I'll be waiting. I'm always here waiting for her.
I don't care. She's gonna do all this stuff, and she's gonna go around killing people. I'm just gonna chill here.
Yeah,
she'll come back to me.
Yeah, she'll come back to me.
Yeah.
She'll fight for me. She'll take care of me. She handles the business. Yeah, and I'm just the face.
Yep, and he knows it, and so. You know, it's funny to me because at this point, this is where he is at, you know, with his feelings for her, even though she's been gone for a month. And that's why I'd like to know what the fuck happened in a month.
Because you know he was losing his shit.
Yeah, he was probably losing his shit. And Maddox was and I really believe Maddox was handling everything. That's what I think.
And I think maybe this cements more why Maddox sees this as just this these kids in love.
Because he's probably been dealing with him for a month.
Yeah, and he probably sees that he's like distraught over losing her. Like, he's actually fearful. Yeah. When nobody has probably seen Carden like this.
Yeah. And so now that, you know, Maddox has been in this, and he, you know, Jude's been gone. Now she's back, and now he's acting this drunken fool. Maddox is upset. Puts this on Jude. Jude's just like, oh my God. And so Jude tries to go up to help him. And what does he do? Oh my God. He grabs her and kisses her in front of everybody, cementing their feelings on these two young and love children.
Yeah. Again, making a show of it.
Yes. And immediately when she pulls away from him, she realizes that the taste on her mouth is very similar to the things that she's been drinking and poisoning herself over the course of for however long. And so now she's like, he's not drunk, he's poisoned. And she makes this announcement that's not drunk, he's not drunk, he's poisoned. And I
was shocked that she because she's so good at like picking and choosing what to tell. And the fact that she told everybody right away, I was like,
she wanted to get him help. She wanted to get him help.
Like, without thought, she's like, he's poisoned. He's not drunk. Somebody help.
And so I think when she gets him to go, I think somebody takes him, and he doesn't get removed yet. As she's saying this, Belkin's like, he's poisoned. He's poisoned, and I know who did it, and like accuses Jude of doing it, and he's like, so Belkin believes that she's still glamored, and so he tells her, remove your pockets. Like, get everything out of your pockets. And if she was glamored, she would have put herself in that position.
And out comes the poison that he gave her to poison Carden.
Yeah, but she doesn't do that because she's not glamored. So she goes and returns them. How would you know he's poisoned? How would you know he's poisoned? The reason why she knows is because she tastes it on his mouth. How would Belkin...
Which everybody saw.
Yeah. How would Belkin know? And so she's like, you must have poisoned him.
Yeah.
Or somebody poisoned him. But... So
wasn't me.
No, so nobody believes she got away with not being framed, and so Carden is left to be removed to go in another room. So I think he's with Baum.
Yes, but also, can I just say I love this turn? Yeah, because everybody is always being outsmarted by Jude, and it's refreshing sometimes, even though it's to her detriment, to see her being outsmarted. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. No. So the fact that he did this was shocking.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God,
because he kept saying, "Don't let nobody." Yeah, don't let nobody. And the fact is he came in with her, so that's kind of fucking stupid on his part because he came in with her. Everybody knows that Belkin is like against Carden.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. There's no motive for her to have poisoned the king because what is she going to get out of it?
She already has the power.
He's dumb.
Yeah.
But and maybe that's why, because the plan was so stupid that dude couldn't even fathom it,
like
because it was so dumb.
And so now Belkin realizes at this point that she isn't glamored,
that she maybe can't be glamored. They've been trying to glamour her this entire time.
And so now he's like shocked, like, oh shit, she knows everything, she's not glamored, and now I'm stuck in this position. So I think Belkin like leaves, and Carden is now with Bomb somewhere trying to figure out what it is for the antidote.
Yep.
And so somebody comes in the room.
Well, yeah. So I think she takes him up back to the passageways to his chambers, and then she's trying to get him to like drink water and all this stuff, and he's like super delusional. And I think she sends for Bomb, and then Bomb brings clay.
Earth. Because he could heal from the earth.
Yeah, and also the clay, she says she was supposed to like absorb as more of the toxins to stop it from flowing through his body.
Yeah.
So he does that. And then she says that
Belkin's, because she sent Bomb to go find Belkin. Or stop, she sent Bomb to go get Grimson. Yeah. And she found out that Grimson was already gone. Because of this crown thing.
Yes. And because also he's
tried to send Grimson away.
Yeah, they were trying to send Grimson away because if he makes this crown, then it puts a bigger target on Card's back, because again, Card needs to die in order for the new crown to be worth anything. And then Belkin says does she go back to Belkin?
So at some point June's just like, I'm gonna go find Belkin because he's got to have the antidote, because she knows he poisoned her.
Yeah.
So she's like, I gotta go get the antidote from Belkin. So she goes to find Belkin, and I think he's in the gardens. He's somewhere. Yes. In my head, he's in the gardens.
Yeah, I think this whole scene takes place in like this garden area.
I can only imagine.
It's away from people. It's just the two of them, or does?
I want to say it's just the two of them. So she goes there. It has to be because she throws something.
But isn't to get him there? Doesn't she say? Was it the Bomb that says that? Oh, he has the. Or they just meet in the garden?
I think they just meet in the gardens. I think he just goes. I think she just goes to find him. I'm not too sure. I just know that they happen to be together, and they end up having to meet with this for the antidote. And
so Belkin says that he has the antidote if she'll give him the crown.
That's right.
Maybe he tells Bomb, and Bomb comes back and tells that to her, and then they go and meet in the garden to do this. Because I think somebody passes that message to her.
Somebody has to. I remember the message being passed, but I don't remember how.
Yeah, I don't remember who does it. But Belkin basically, again, says, I have the antidote. I want the crown in exchange for the antidote. Yeah. So they go and meet in the...
I think it's the garden.
The gardens.
Yeah.
They meet someplace secluded. With lots of brush and flowers.
Yeah,
so it must be the garden.
Yes, because she throws stuff in there to hide things.
Yeah.
And I want to say so now she pretty much tells him, like, here, let's make a deal. I want the antidote. I will drink this poison that I have that you've given me in my pocket. I will drink it, and you will give me part of the antidote. And then when I realize it works, I will give you the crown for the next part of the antidote. I believe that's right?
Yes.
Okay. So she is so brilliant.
She's so brilliant. She's so brilliant.
So she takes this antidote, she takes the poison, chugs it, takes the whole thing. Don't forget, she can no longer do this. She can't.
Right? Because we've already noted that
she went through withdrawal. She does no longer have the ability to drink poison.
I was scared.
I know. I was like, why? He's not going to give it to you.
I thought he was not. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, she drinks it. And she goes, okay, give me the antidote. And this nasty motherfucker, this nasty motherfucker tells her, I'm not going to give this to you. I'm going to give it to you myself. So he takes her, puts her head up, and like gives it to her like, what do you call her, baby bird?
I mentally blocked whatever he said out of my head.
Disgusting. But yeah, he calls her a baby bird, or gives it to her like a baby bird. Something along those lines.
There was something baby birdish.
Yeah. So drops it on her tongue, trying to be all fucking and then she takes it. It works. And she doesn't take it. This is where it gets smart. She takes it, and she takes the vial that she had for the poison, puts it, she like spits it in the vial. And he's like, what are you doing? She didn't need to fucking take the antidote, because this girl, our girl
is so smart.
Filled it with water.
Yep. While she was in the rooms with Carden, took the water, spit the antidote back in. She's so brilliant.
Yeah.
She's so brilliant.
So now she doesn't need to give him the crown because she's got the antidote. And she throws the antidote to Bomb.
Yep.
So she could go cure.
Is it maybe the crown too? I don't know. But
no, the crown. You know what? I just didn't even pay attention to where the crown was. I'm assuming the crown, because the crown doesn't even come in play.
No, it really doesn't.
So it doesn't matter. So now Belkin is furious.
Oh, yeah. Because he's been tricked.
Yeah.
He's been bested as Jude bests everyone who tries to fuck with her.
Again, this 17-year-old, 18-year-old girl just fucking plotting and planning.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Fairy Kingdom does not stand a fucking chance against Jude.
I don't know. She's taking people down.
It's like quick thinking too. Like she didn't have time to think of a plan. No. She was just like, "This is what's happening. Water, go spit it in the vial."
It's such a. But
also, that's a little gross. Like she spits it, and now he's gonna drink it. I understand it's an antidote. I understand it's needed, but I still think that's gross. I get it.
I don't think Carden cares.
No, Carden, I'm sure, is absolutely happy.
He's like
to be swapping spit with her. However, he can be swapping spit with her.
Who's Carden?
Can you put some extra spit in there?
Like this came from Jude. Oh fuck yeah!
Straight from her mouth, please. Dump it in. Go ahead. Yeah, no.
He's like, feed it to me like I'm a baby bird. He probably didn't even know. So he takes it and he's fine, but Mom's dealing with him. But now Belkin is wanting to like go to war with Jude. He like wants to duel her.
Yeah, he thinks he's gonna fuck her shit up.
Oh yeah, no.
And also I think notes that she didn't bring Nightfell with her, so she just has a dagger.
This fucking dagger of a thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I think she says is longer than a regular dagger, but is not quite as long as a sword. So like obviously he has the advantage here with the sword, but does he know? No. Does he have the advantage?
No,
because he's not Jude, so you don't have any advantage if you're not Jude.
Ugh. I just don't like him, and I am so happy what's about to happen. Belkin wants to sword fight with Jude, and there's this whole sword fight thing that's going on, and I don't think there's really a lot of banter during this time, but like. They're clashing swords. She's trying to like outdo him with the dagger. And I think the dagger even falls at some point. I don't know. But anyways, all I know is that I want to make it this epic story on what happens, but I cannot. So all you know is that there's this battle and Jude ends up killing the motherfucker.
Oh, she stabs him good.
Right in the fucking neck.
Sprayed with his blood. She bathed.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that much blood, but she got that shit all over her.
Yeah, she goes, I drive the knife toward his neck. Hold. And then she holds it there, and she's the arterial blood sprays all over her arm. Belkin slumps over, sprawling on the ground, and she's like, "It just happened too fast."
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, I
just fucking kicked his ass like it was nothing." And
then his
dagger to the throat.
Yeah, and then his eyes are staring into like nothing. But it's like
I spit on him and walk away.
I spit on you. I spit on you. So she's like, huh, "Who's a baby bird now?"
Baby bird now.
Also, like, yeah, she was just like, I think she was almost disappointed in a sense that
she wasn't gonna like revel in it. Yeah, it wasn't much of a battle.
But she's covered in blood. She's covered in blood, and that's important. Mm-hmm. And she's just like so disappointed that it's just over.
Yeah, she didn't get to have this big glorious fight. I mean, like, he knows that she was some sort of. Because he saw her at the tournament. So it's like, and he was always poking at Carden for not being as good as her. I mean, maybe he just didn't ever in his right mind fathom that like this human girl could beat him with a dagger. But goddamn. But that's the thing, is everybody underestimates her. And
all of them. Yep.
She fucking serves it up hot.
Yep.
Hot, steamy.
I loved it. I was like, good. He deserved it. All that nasty talk he'd be doing. He needed to die.
Yeah.
He needed to die.
He did need to die. The only thorn in the side now is that really I didn't even care that he was the fucking ambassador. I mean, I cared though that Carden said absolutely not to killing him, and she killed him, and so I knew that the conversation about this wasn't going to go well because of course he's super against this sort of thing.
Yeah, and so
but
now
he knows Jude, like, she's a ruthless bitch.
I don't think at the end of the day everybody wants this guy dead. I think
he poisoned the king.
Yeah, come on.
There is no other way but to execute him.
Yeah, and she did a fine job.
She
did a fine job.
She did a beautiful job. And also, she didn't instigate it.
No,
he did, and she was like, "Well, you want to play? Let's fucking play, bro."
Exactly. Right to the throat. This is it?
This is the worst fight I've ever had. God damn. What a waste of my time.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have a war over your nothingness? Like, this bitch. I love her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after that, she goes back to the okay, this part threw me fucking... Oh, I was pissed. So she goes back up to make sure that Carden is good to go. He's just up and awake, and he's like, wow, you changed quickly. And why are you back in that?
Oh, that's right.
And she goes, Carden, tell me what the fuck you're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. Tell me what you're talking about. Act like I don't know what you are talking about.
Like,
she seriously says that. She's like, act like I don't know what you're talking about and tell me what happened. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, you came in here with your father talking about how the Undersea is doing all this stuff. I believe it's the Undersea.
Yeah, it was the Undersea.
Doing all this stuff, and Maddox wants to like pretty much go after them, but he needs to be able to do things without having to communicate with me. So he wanted to break the vow of whatever, loyalty or whatever, so he could be able to make decisions without me.
Yep.
And you were by his side saying, yeah. And
he needs half the army.
Yeah, and he needs to take half the army with him. So you were by his side telling me like, yeah. And he's like, I wanted to show you that you didn't need to command me, that I trusted you in this decision.
Well, yeah, he does say it, but I like the way that he says it, because she says like, how didn't you know it was me saying this? I didn't command you. And he said, I didn't need you to command me. I trust you. And so I didn't need a command from you. You just asked me, and I trust you.
And I wanted to show you that I could be loyal to you with making decisions, and that we could trust each other in this.
It's so heartbreaking.
Oh, I know. I was like, Carden, you're stupid.
Oh, Carden.
Oh my God, you are so
You're supposed
sweet.
to know the twin that you like.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be fooled.
Well, you know.
Well, yeah. He may or may not redeem himself. But
yeah, but like in this moment, he didn't know.
He was coming off of poison. So he was not all fully there.
And you know, and it's like, this guy, he just really, I think he wanted really hard to impress her and show her all these things. And
that's all he wants. He just wants to impress her. He wants to,
this guy, man.
He just wants her to like him.
Yeah, even a little bit. And
he just doesn't want her to want him dead. That's
I was just about to say it. He would just be happy if she didn't want to kill him.
Yeah, that's literally all he wants.
Yeah. So, oh my God, this guy. So just weird. So she's just like, that wasn't me, obviously. And he's just like, oh no. Oh no. And he's like, here's the thing. I done fucked up, right?
Here's the thing.
I imagine this conversation going, sorry, Jude. Here's the thing. Okay, look it. I fucked up, but I have a better proposal for you. A literal proposal for you.
Ooh, a literal proposal.
Yeah, I have a proposal for you. Look it. I done fucked up because I'm trying to always do this for you. And it shouldn't be this way. We shouldn't be working like this. We should be able to trust each other. So how about this? How about if you release me from my vow of protection and obedience to you, I'll marry you. And she's just like, that's what?
Yeah, she's shocked.
What?
And he even asks him too, because he only has a couple more months left on his oath to her.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't understand why that doesn't make sense. Okay, so you want to lock yourself to me for, she doesn't say eternally, because it doesn't have to be eternally.
No, it doesn't. It could just be for the time of reign.
Yeah. Yes. So essentially, and for the 7 years oak.
Yeah.
Becomes. So you're willing to tie yourself to me that long or longer versus the few months you have left. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And he's like, he's like, I will do that for you. I think he's just trying to impress her, show her that, look it, I can also, we can do this together. We don't have to do this separately. We can do it together. So you don't have to control me. You'll be able to do whatever you want, and we'll still reign together, and you'll still have your place. And so she's just like, what?
You'll be queen of faerie.
He just wants to be able to make his own decisions. He wants his freedom back, is what he says.
Yeah.
So he loves her, he trusts her, but he wants to still be able to make his decisions without having to pretty much be controlled. Like, who does want to be controlled?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's crazy to me that he does love her and he trusts her and he wants to be able to still let her do what she wants to do. He just wants his freedom.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair thing for him to ask.
I think that is a fair thing for him
to ask. And so she goes, yeah, but here's the thing. you would what? I'll agree to this. I'll break the vow, and you will just like what? Take forever to marry me? Yeah. He goes, no, I'll marry you right fucking now.
Right now.
He's like, girl, I'll marry you right now.
I'll marry you right now. We don't need people.
Yeah,
like I can't lie. So we don't need people to watch us. I'll tell you the vows right now. I'll tell you my promise right now.
I'll do for you. I'll do you.
Whatever you want, Jude.
So she's like, okay. So like they agree to it. They do their what they call it, the troth and vow. Mm-hmm. So they make their vows. They're married. And
Carden goes first.
Yeah.
She goes second. Carden gives her.
Oh my god, this is so cute.
That he stole from her. Yeah. The ruby ring on her finger, and she notes that is not a fairy thing. That is a strictly human thing. Because he's such a sweetheart. All he wants to do is just make her happy. So he's like, I don't know anything about this, but I might make you happy if I give you your ring like it's an actual ring.
I love it.
Him. But then also, this is my favorite part. This is like the most poetic thing I've ever read in my life. Not really, but I love this part. Right as they're like, I think they kiss to like seal it, because it's a wedding or whatever. It's a marriage.
Vow thing.
She says, he kisses the scar on my palm. I still have his brother's blood under my fingernails. I don't have a ring for him. Above us, the buds are blooming. The whole room smells of flowers. I love this because
the earth is already
accepting this. The fact that she's like thinking, like he does something tender. He kisses her hands, and then she's immediately thinking like, yo, his brother's blood, who he doesn't know that I've killed, he didn't want me to kill,
I forgot all about that
is literally under my fingernails. And then she goes back to something like, I don't even have a ring for him. Like just these panic thoughts in her head while this is happening.
He doesn't even care.
I love so much. He doesn't even care. And
no,
like,
he doesn't even ask whose blood that is.
No, he probably doesn't even know. He's like, it's Jude. She's always got blood under her arm. She's got blood all over
about
her.
It, she was just supposed to go get an antidote, and she was fine. She was dressed and clean, and she comes back with blood all over her, and he's just like, "Oh, I love you. Marry me."
This is the Jude I love, the one that I fear the most. Covered in blood, I would have my side.
Yeah. So she breaks the vow of his obedience and loyalty, and so now they just pretty much like chill in their own like love for a little bit.
Yeah, well, and then I love her internal thoughts in this because this is now the end of book 2, and so from book 1 to book 2, Jude has hidden her feelings from us. She's constantly saying, I don't like him. He hates me. And then we see a glimpse of her, like, she's so shocked by this that, like, her, when you have, like, silly thoughts, like, when you like somebody and already you're thinking about, like, marrying them and things like that, those ridiculous thoughts.
Yeah, she's already getting
She doesn't really have those ever, but here she's starting to have it, and I love seeing this. She's like, this could
be this moment where I can be like happy with him and be married to him and we could be together and stuff like that.
Because she's always so like tight and controlled, Jude, and she's always in control. She's always thinking logically. So it's so refreshing to see this glimpse of her like slipping into these human emotions, these like silly girl things. Like I can be happy. Like she's like allowing herself to fall for this.
And they're resting in bed together as they're doing. So like they have that moment. They have that sweet tender moment as husband and wife. And
I love seeing this Jude, who is a 17-year-old human girl. Like this was nice to see. And it's so sweet too. They were like cuddling together, which makes the fall at the end so much harder.
I know. The tragedy of this. The
ending was not.
So we gotta compose ourselves. So anyways, they're laying in bed together, and somebody comes to the door. It's a messenger. It's just some messenger, and goes, "Hey, King. Hi, King. Your brother is fucking dead. He was found, pretty much just, I don't know. What did he say? He was just found dead in the morning.
He was found lying in his own blood in the middle of the garden.
And Queen Orlog is demanding justice for her ambassador's death. Mm-hmm. And so he's just like, oh my God, it's so funny. He's like, well, she's just like, oh shit. And he's like, well, my queen, you got to come with me because this is part of your duties now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he says it all sweet and tender. He knows who killed him.
There's not a question in this man's mind.
Yeah, she's got blood all over her. She was the last person to see him. Of course he knows.
Of course.
So he's like, come on, queen, let's go do our daily duties and deal with this bullshit.
Yeah, so they meet out on like
the island.
Yeah, I think she's in the sea on her sharks. Carden's there, and a lot of people are there. Like the folk are all there to see this whole situation go down.
Yeah,
and she tells him that he was supposed to keep Belkin safe, And he's
like, wait a second, why would I need to keep him safe?
I love Carden. He's so sassy.
He's so irritated by this whole notion of what? I'm not supposed to keep him safe. You wanted him as an ambassador. You were supposed to keep him, not me.
I'm not babysitting
and
him.
He wanted to duel. That was his problem.
Yes, and I love that he says this because everybody knows who killed Balkin. It's not a mystery.
Yeah.
And then so he says, essentially, if Jude's the one with whom he dueled, I am certain she would win. Like, why would, if he's challenging Jude, that's his own fault. I know that if he challenged Jude, she would absolutely win. So I'm not shocked that it was Jude who did it. I love that he just loves her craziness. Like, he just knows that it's yes.
And so, like, after that, like, the queen is just, like, demanding all this shit. And Carden is not having it. He's getting really fucking irritated. And he just starts growing things up from the ground onto Nikki. And, like, pretty much threatens to kill Nikki by, like, encompassing her into all this fucking earth. And, like, creates an island as he's doing it. And Nikki is on the verge of dying, and the queen is, like, shouting, don't, I'll do anything.
Yeah, because I think she's demanding, essentially, the queen is demanding retribution in the form of war, or, like, Jude needs to come get executed, or, like, blood for blood is essentially, he's just getting mad.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing I love more in these types of books than when the men in them show their, like,
power,
absolute ridiculous amount of power. And Carden, who we've never seen have really any power, I don't think we've seen him use any power. Boom, this man is just fucking growing shit. He's boiling the seawater.
Like, people, and like the mer people are in the water, and they're like, they're about to die.
And I imagine he's just, like, looking at her.
I imagine he's just like, grrr, like, oh, this fucking power.
Sea's boiling. He pulled up a fucking island. He's got Nicasia trapped, and basically
he's gonna kill her.
Is gonna kill her.
Yeah. And Orla, and this is a guy saying he doesn't want to kill. So he's been brought to this point. So he's probably really angry that he's even brought to this point. And so the queen is like, and Jude is shocked. Mind you, like, Jude doesn't get shocked about it. She's like, holy shit, this dude.
Look at all this power.
Yeah. I know, right? That's how I was. I was like,
Carden,
holy shit. Yeah, because he came out of nowhere, and Jude is, like, shocked. And so, you know, everybody's shocked. And so Queen is, like, begging and begging and begging. And so that's, I think, at this point when Carden says, you know, you will never tell me what to do, or you'll never threaten me again. And she's just like, just release my daughter, you know, I will do whatever.
We'll make an alliance.
Yeah. And so he releases her, her daughter. And then I want to say at that point, she's like, okay, well, fine, here's the deal. Like, we will have peace. You will have an alliance with me like we had with the alliance prior with the former king. And you will honor it. If you don't, I will show you this all over again.
Yeah.
And your daughter is now the ambassador to our world. And then they go on this conversation.
I didn't really like. But...
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Then they have this conversation about what's to do with the ambassador's death.
He asked Jude, did you kill? And Jude has a moment of not knowing how to respond to this, because she's like, does he want me to actually say I did it? Does he not? But the fact that he's asking must mean that he wants me to say, yes, I killed.
So yeah, she admits to it. I mean, I feel like there's no other way around it. I mean, obviously. And I feel like her being queen now, I feel like she felt like she could say that.
Yep, because she's queen.
Yeah. But
then Carden does the fucking unthinkable.
He says, for retribution for my uncle's or my brother's death, or whoever it is, brother, right? His brother's death. You are exiled to the mortal realm, and only until the crown can bring you back and forgive you are you to stay.
On punishment of death.
Ugh. How fucked up, right?
Carden.
So now, so now soldiers are escorting her out as she's screaming and yelling, I'm the queen, I'm the queen. Are you going to deny me this? And he has this, like, little smirk.
Yeah.
Which, okay, when I read that, I was like, okay, this motherfucker has a plan.
Well, first, before she says that, and the folk start laughing at her. So it came on, when he smirked at her, is while the folk are laughing at her. So it almost felt like he was a part of the joke with the rest of that. That's how I took it.
Felt like
I was just fucking mad.
Yeah, so, like it did. I did feel like there was a joke, but I felt like, knowing Carden, he also laughs when he's nervous and upset.
That's true.
So I was like, he's probably doing this because he thinks, and he always wants to impress her. So I'm thinking, oh, this dude probably is trying to do this. There's probably a fucking plan, and he probably just did it for now. I that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I did not, Jude. I was just like, this fucking ass.
I can't. I was like, I cannot believe it. There's something going on. There's something going on. And like the smirk did it for me. That's when I was just like, okay, he's fucking with her. There's something about this. Because I can't fucking believe it. I don't want to fucking believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I did not want to believe it either, but I was also just wrath with Jude. And also she says something here. I remember what it was to hate him with the whole of my heart, but I remember too late. She does that often where she's thinking of like, oh, I remember. Because, again, this ties back to her like falling into those mortal feelings and why it hurts even so much more when he does this, because she has those moments where she finally lets herself feel these silly, like, girly feelings.
And she's like,
she let her guard down. He struck when she knew he was going to do something
when she was the least vulnerable to him.
When she was the most vulnerable.
And then she's like, this motherfucker, he did it again. I should have known better.
Yes.
And I think everybody can relate to that when you finally let your guard down and let somebody in, and then they fuck you up and you're like, I fucking knew it. Like, I fucking knew it. I shouldn't have let this
And I remembered that I hated you way too fucking late and when you already charmed me with your fucking charm.
So now she is being dragged away, and he says something along the line of he named his own island Insir, Island of Ash.
Yeah,
so he created this island and he named it. And that was the end of the book, but we have an epilogue.
Yeah.
Which
I'm so mad.
Doesn't make me feel better.
No.
It makes me feel worse because now she's in the mortal realm.
With Viv and Heather.
Yeah. And
or was it just Viv?
No, Heather moved out.
That's
which is even more sad. Like this whole thing. So Heather moved out because she's upset at what happened in part 1 of this book. And
when Vivi glamored her.
Yeah, and Oak is going to school, and he's off in school right now, and I guess Jude is like trying to chain him in between schooling classes, and so Vivi and Jude have a discussion about how revenge is sweet, and she goes, "But ice cream is sweeter." And I was like, I love that, but I'm so fucking sad.
I'm so mad. Like, what? Why am I here? Why am I back in the mortal world? Stop.
Yeah,
like,
I want her back. Obviously, we read book 3, and things happen. But like, I was
I was very upset with this fucking whole situation. Carden blinded by my anger, just like Jude has been.
I know.
But
I was so sad about it.
What a way to end book
It was
2.
great.
My God.
Okay. Overall, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, yeah.
Holly, take a 5.
Yeah. Just throwing out 5s.
God damn it.
I was throwing out 5s beginning of the book, middle of the book, end of the book. I was like, I love this book. This book is great. And this is the second book.
The second book. And I always feel like the second book always
drops. Yeah. No. It like went up the roof for me. I love it. The first book was a 5, or first book was a 5, second book is a 5. Oh.
And the thing is that like I'm never disappointed with decisions Jude is making. I'm like shocked at every twist and turn. Like, what a refreshing, like, crisp breeze of air this book has been, from going from not having these experiences to like maximum amount of pleasure from these experiences.
It's so great.
Every twist and turn of this book, I was shocked. I did not feel like I knew what was going to happen at any point. Every decision Jude made, I'm like, yep.
I loved it.
You're way too smart for me because I might not have done
the antidote one, the part with the antidote, that was clever, so clever that I was just like, this girl is great. She's great. And like, there's things that I wouldn't have done that she did, and it to her ability, it was the best decision. And I was like, I wouldn't have made that decision, but her decision was better.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm floored with how great the character development was in this book.
Yes.
She went from having no power in the first book to getting a little bit of power in the first part of this book. And then at the end, the power was removed. So it was like this power shift constantly was happening, and she was getting, and no matter what she did, she always made great decisions, but no matter what she did, of course, other players in the book, have to be in the way.
Yeah, and as they would.
Yeah, as it's just like great character development on everybody's part. Carden too.
Yes, Carden's character development's great, but everybody's motive always never seems forced.
No,
like, it always makes sense why characters are acting as they're acting. Everybody makes sense. Nothing is forced. Every decision Jude makes, I'm like never disappointed in. she's always, I may not agree with it, or it's not even that I don't even agree with it. It's like, I might not have even fucking thought of it.
Exactly.
She's doing it. And I'm like, girl,
like that was a thought. You could have done that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you did that. Like,
pleasantly shocked by everything she does.
Yeah. And this book, by the way, you know, it didn't even have that many pages compared to most books these days. But like,
look at this book.
Yeah.
Look at how big that book is.
And it had been broken down in 2 parts for us in our walkthroughs because it was so much detail.
There's so much.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel like there's so much. Like, so much is always happening. It is like jam fucking packed with action, but I don't ever feel
like it's overwhelming.
Like it's overwhelming or it's crammed in or it's forced. No, it's perfect. It's flawless. It's like I'm in a fucking movie that just never gets dull. It's almost hard because every time I open up this book, I'm reading for like 4 hours. There's no like, oh, I'm just gonna read for an hour. It's like I can't stop here.
Yeah, no, you can't. There's like, and anytime you get a moment to stop, it's like, if you don't stop now, you're gonna be reading.
You're gonna be reading for another 4 hours.
You can't.